Welcome to SCARCE. This is our Center for Sustainability. We do environmental education classes in our classroom, like where we did the wheelchair presentation today with Danielle Cares for Chairs. And we also collect items in addition to the bread tags for Danielle's group. We take in books and gently used school supplies, as well as other kind of oddball recycling things like Brita and Pure filters through partnerships with TerraCycle and other recycling organizations. We also have a super crayon project, and we take crayons in for that, broken and whole. Broken crayons get set aside and we recycle them into new crayons here, and whole crayons are put out in our book rescue here, which is open to anyone that works for a school or nonprofit to come and get books and supplies. We don't charge for items. We have a suggested donation, but it's otherwise free to organizations to come and get items for use in their classrooms or programs to help people. So if you come along this way here, when you first enter, we have our super crayon area. These are some of those recycled crayons. So we take in donations of crayons. As I said, the full-size ones get sorted out. We put them into gallon-sized Ziploc bags, and then teachers can take those and use them in their classroom since they're still perfectly useful as they are. But we get plenty of crayons that are maybe broken or have been colored down a little bit too far. We have volunteer groups come in and sort those out. They sort them by color and peel them, and then we melt them down and pour them into molds, and we'll make new crayons. And oftentimes kids, the first question people have is, do they actually work? And they are really just like any regular crayon. You can take this and color on a sheet of paper with them, but it's a great way to get a resource reused because, believe it or not, crayons actually have petroleum wax in them, and we know that oil and petroleum is a non-renewable resource. So rather than throw it in the landfill, we recycle it and get it in use again to classrooms and also to kids in need. We've worked with children's hospitals. We made crayons for a children's cancer survivor camp one summer that was sports themed, and they're great because if you maybe have vision problems, you can still see the crayons. The wrapper, if you've ever looked at crayons, like with this green one, it doesn't actually match the exact color of the crayon. Same with a white crayon, the wrapper's gray but the crayon's white, so if you have vision problems, then a regular crayon might be challenging, or if you have any sort of grip troubles. With a crayon like this, you can maybe grip it differently like that and still be able to color if you don't have a grip like the average person. And then the rest of our facility here, if we continue onward, we have our supplies down this hallway. We get big rolls of paper from one of our donors that are from cutting down paper really for selling for office paper. And when they get down to this amount, they can't use it anymore. It's called a butt roll, but it's perfect for teachers to take for use in art projects in their classroom or maybe to make big posters for school or something like that. And then down this way, the book startup, we have our younger grades here. And all of these books are donated to us mostly from schools. The textbooks are, maybe they've updated to a newer edition, maybe they got sample books and they decided not to go with that type. And so then they don't really have anywhere to take them until they found out about us. So it's fantastic. They come in, pack them up, bring them in boxes. We have some full-time staff here, but it's mostly volunteers that help us sort and shelve all of these books. And these are all books that otherwise would have had to be landfilled because there's not another place for them to go. And they're still very valuable. We did an evaluation just recently, a snapshot. Our interns were working on a project, and with all the books that we have in here, just the textbooks, roughly it's like $200,000 worth of books on our shelves, and all of those would have just gone into the trash because schools don't have anywhere to put them. And here we're able to get them back to teachers in classrooms that can use them. And just continuing down this way, we have our school supplies. Tons of binders. We get notebooks, paper. We have crafting supplies. Crafting supplies, science equipment. We're extra overflowing in the summer months. As we are now, it's our busiest time of year, so it gets really crowded in here. We have lots of teachers come in to get items for their schools year-round, and it's a great time to kind of prep and stock up for them during the summer. All right. Pardon me, guys. We have pencils and crayons and things like that, or Crayola markers. I don't know if you want to get like, compasses. Some of it's not even used at all. So it's amazing the equipment that we get in here. Some of it not even opened. And then further ahead here we have our reading library. So this is where we have reading books. Your fiction novels and kids' storybooks and things like that, anywhere from preschool age all the way through high school novel sets on our shelves. We also have posters and room decoration items and a couple very dedicated volunteers that help keep this room from getting too crazy. We take National Geographic magazines in there as well. They're great for art projects for teachers and supplemental learning. Those are all the posters kind of organized by subject. As I said, we have a few very dedicated volunteers that help to keep it under control and fairly organized. And then lastly, this area is where you'll find nonfiction books, supplemental learning, things about weather, things like that, and then also all of our textbooks organized by topic and grade level. Again, we have really got to give huge kudos out to our volunteers, a lot of them retired teachers, and this means a lot to them to be able to help other teachers get the items that they need. So they're really proud of the job and the work they do to keep things stocked and organized here. Yeah. So if we head down this way, you can see that we have it with the different organized by subjects and maybe elementary reading, middle school, high school, music and social studies. And it keeps on going all the way down to the end here. Got math, science, just about every topic. We even have overhead projectors way up high. Teachers do still use them in the classroom. Maybe not quite as many as they used to, but they can still find them here and get them, for next to nothing for their classroom. So if teachers, some of them they can find an entire classroom set for everyone in their class. Other times they maybe just need a couple more copies to fill in because other ones have gotten damaged that they had. And beyond what we have that's good and out on our shelves, we also have recycling for textbooks, which cannot be recycled with your typical recycling program. So on top of the, I think we're at 7 million books or more that teachers have received from us, we know millions more have been recycled so that the paper can be made into more books and we don't have to cut down so many trees. It's just amazing the impact that SCARCE has on the community. We get teachers in here every year, some kind of in tears about how much we're able to help them in their classrooms so that their students can learn. We had a teacher gushing about the fact that our students would have science textbooks, which seemed like such a basic thing. But we're able to fill that gap and help people create a brighter future for people and also help the planet at the same time.